All right, same thing here. We're going to complete the square, but you're going to see there's going to be a little bit of a twist here with these two, but it's really nothing to be worried about. Something that we want to review quickly is that if I have a fraction, uh, some number divided by some other number, m over n, and we square that, all you need to do is square the numerator and square the denominator, and you've squared your fraction. Okay? In addition, remember when we add fractions, we have to have a common denominator. Okay, so when we add fractions, make sure we have a common denominator. So let's take a look at this first problem here. I have 3x squared equals negative 4 plus 8x. I'm going to do the same thing, get all the x terms on the left. So I'm going to subtract 8x from both sides. This is going to become 3x squared minus 8x. I'm going to leave a space, equals negative 4. Now, what I need to do, remember we have a number here in front of the quadratic term. We need to get rid of that. So I'm going to divide everything by 3. Just divide everything by 3. These 3's cancel, and I'm left with x squared minus 8/3 x is equal to negative 4/3. Not so bad. Now, if we need to find the c term that makes this a perfect square trinomial, we need to take the b term, which is negative 8/3. We need to find half of that, multiply it by 1/2, and then we need to square that. Okay, so to multiply by 1/2, just multiply numerator times numerator. Negative 8 times 1 is negative 8. 3 times 2 is 6, and square it. Now when I square that, square the numerator, square the denominator, I'm going to add to both sides here. I made these a little bit too close, so let me move these up. To both sides of this fraction, I am going to add 64/36. Okay, so nothing terrible, right? Now when I factor this, the left-hand side is going to factor to 8x minus whatever half of my b value was. So that's going to be 8/6 squared is equal to, now I need to add these fractions. To do that, I'm just going to use my calculator. Negative 4/3 plus 64/36. Negative 4/3. Got to put that in a parenthesis. And I'm going to add to that 64/36. And I'm going to get a nasty decimal. Now, look what I can do. I just hit the math and then hit enter, enter, and it gives it to me in a fraction in reduced form. So my right-hand side here is just going to become 4/9. That's not so bad. Now we take the square root of both sides, because this square root cancels the squared. X minus 8/6 is equal to, remember when I take the square root of a fraction, just take the square root of the top and the square root of the bottom. There we have it. I know I'm going to have to turn this into sixths. 8/6 actually simplifies to 4/3, and that's going to be equal to both positive and negative 2/3. Here's where I break it up. x minus 4/3 is equal to negative 2/3, and x minus 4/3 is equal to positive 2/3. Now I'm going to add 4/3 to both sides in both of these. 4/3 cancel on the left. Negative 2/3 plus 4/3 is a positive 2/3. There's one solution. Now I'm going to add 4/3 to both sides. Add 4/3 to both sides. X is equal to 2/3 plus 4/3 is 6/3. And 6/3 simplifies to 2. So there are my two solutions. I have 2/3 and 2. This next one, we're going to do the exact same thing. I already have all the x's on the left and the numbers on the right, so I'm going to start by getting rid of this 8 in front by dividing every single term by 8. These 8's cancel, and I'm left with x squared plus 2x is equal to, well, 42 divided by 8 does not go evenly. So 42 divided by 8, got that decimal. I'm going to hit math, enter, enter. Turn it into an improper fraction, 21/4. Okay, now I'm ready to complete the square. I take half of my b value, half of 2 is 1, and square it. So I'm going to add 1 to both sides. But watch how I add 1 to the right. I'm going to add 4/4 to the right, because 4/4 is equal to 1, and I know I need a common denominator. Now I can factor the left-hand side into the binomial x plus 1, the quantity squared, is equal to 21/4 plus 4/4 is 25/4. Now I take the square root of both sides, square root, because this square root cancels the squared, and I'm left with x plus 1 is equal to both positive and negative. Square root of the top is a 5. Square root of the bottom is a 2. Now I can break it up. X plus 1 is equal to negative 5/2, and x plus 1 is equal to positive 5/2. I know I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides, and I have a fraction with a denominator of 2, so I'm going to subtract 2/2 from the right-hand side, which is the same as 1. These ones cancel. I'm left with x is equal to negative 5/2 minus 2/2 is negative 7/2. That's one answer. I'm going to do the same thing. Subtract 1, subtract 2/2. The 1's cancel. And I'm left with x is equal to 5/2 minus 2/2 is 3/2. Two answers. Completing the square. Notice it's pretty much all the same, even with the fractions. Just be comfortable using a calculator for your fractions, right? I wouldn't expect anybody to do that all without a calculator for sure. There's a box of calculators in the front. If you need them, feel free to grab them. If you bought your own calculator, your calculator will change your fractions, your decimal values into improper fractions. So just you should know how to do that and make sure you learn how to do that. That's it. I'm going to put a practice worksheet in for you to finish the rest of the class, and then your homework will be posted as well.